Yeah.
All right. Hang on here. So, it'll be the October 9th, 11 o'clock 2020 meeting. We'll call to order. We need approval on the agenda.
I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda.
Second it.
Second.
Any discussion? Any discussion on it?
No.
Call for the vote then.
Aye.
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 Be an aye too.
All right, so yeah, we're just gonna work our way on down the list here, and
Okay.
Jesse, before we start, I have a question. I know before, and for everybody to understand, this is the first time, if you look at last year's budget, if anybody has a copy of it, the water and sewer were combined to a certain extent, especially the expenses. And Jesse and Mary had to pull everything out by water and sewer and separate them for IDEQ. They had to do it for the audit. And so this year will be the first time that we've separated everything. So my question is, my understanding in the beginning is that our system, when the payments come in now, Jesse, will we be able to post and separate what comes in for sewer, what comes in for water, including the water overages, or are we going to have to do this by the number of accounts times the monthly fees?
nope, I will be able to run a report in our billing software that will delineate the portion of water and the portion of sewer.
And will that include the $8 fee? Will we be able to separate that out also? Or is that going to continue to go into the O&M water?
That will continue to go into the O&M water. There's no way in the billing software or with QuickBooks to be able to tell which portion of that is the $8. So the good news is when I was working with some of the reports yesterday, and I pulled, so the budget will be off of what we bill. But when I went in and saw what we're actually getting, people like to overpay on their water, I think because they leave town and stuff like that. So it was really good on the water side. So, and then we just do the manual calculation of 475 connections times the $8 increase, which is $3,800. And we transfer that every month into the bank account.
Yeah, right. I understand that. I just wondered. I wanted to make sure that we have the ability now to separate it so that we have meaningful figures when we're going to be, looking at this budget as we go through the year. And that answers my question. That's good. Okay. All right.
So we're going to take it from the very tippity top here. Obviously, rent is still on the budget item list because of our actuals in 2017-18. That's the last time. So after this finally works its way off of our budget line item, you can get rid of that altogether until, I guess, if we decide to rent out the office again. So anyway, for this year, it's a 0. Certification fees, when I actually pulled the report, we were at 10,600 that we had actually received, but that goes up or down, and it's just like I don't want to overstate our income.
Right, I don't either. I agree.
So I mean, it's quite a big difference from what we actually received to say, we're going to budget for 2,500 of it, but this is actually what the number is.
And is that at 50%? It's what the number is just for...
Yes, that's split half and half, yeah. So if I were to put it on the sewer side and then put it on the water side, it would be the 5,300, so 10,600 total. But So that's something we can keep in mind if we feel like we're cutting short one of these red highlighted areas, which are very important to us, and we can maybe bump up some a little bit. But yeah, I don't like overseeding income. So anyway, I just kept it at the nice 2,500 like we've done for the last couple of years. So
Yeah, and that's fine
So
because it's not a big item. Go ahead,
I
Ellie.
have to ask a stupid question.
No, there's nothing stupid.
What is certification? What's that for?
certification.
What's that for?
Certifications are once a year. I take all of our delinquent accounts. I review them. You know, if anybody hasn't paid on an LID bill or a sewer bill or a water bill. Water is not such a big deal because if they start not paying their balance, then I can get them out a letter, you know, a quote unquote threatening letter, tell them, hey, pay your bill or we can turn your water off. And then people pay their bill. Well, with sewer or an LID, we don't have that threat. So if they don't pay their bill, then I put it on a list and I turn it over to the county, and the county places the unpaid bill on their property taxes. So when they pay their property taxes, the county will cut a check to us.
So that's for liens then. Is that what you're saying?
What? I'm sorry, say that again.
Certification is basically certification is basically to put liens on properties
Yeah.
that don't pay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you know how many we have so far? How many liens? Do you have an idea? How many liens we have out there currently?
Yes, and I supplied that list to you guys in July, but yeah, there's a pretty decent amount of people, and so sometimes people just don't pay their property taxes, so it's a really hard number to try to budget for because
Right.
we take it, we certify it to the county, and then we just cross our fingers basically, and we get a check whenever people decide that they actually want to pay it. So
The clarification with Ally, when we certify with the county in July, most people would pay it in December, but if they don't pay it for 3 years, the county forecloses on them. We are second in line next to the county. The county taxes get paid first, then we are second after that.
Yeah, so we get paid.
So the liens are
I'm sorry, in December and in June.
yeah. Well, that's a good question. Are the liens then every year when they pay their taxes, we get our money? Is that what you're saying? Just so I understand it.
Yes, and so usually people have two chances, and that's in December and June. And yeah, so we get checks from Bonner County and Kootenai County for anybody that I certified their properties.
So if a person doesn't pay their water bill, we're pretty much not guaranteed, but we will get our money when they have to pay their taxes that year.
Correct.
So what I'm asking is, a person couldn't let it sit there for years and years and years, unless they never paid their real estate, their property taxes. It couldn't sit there for years and years and years.
Correct.
That's right. And on the water side, we would stop their water before it got there. But yeah, basically, and it's not a big line item, you guys. It really isn't. So, for what it is annually, I agree. Let's just leave it where it is for now.
Yeah.
Okay, so then for the next one is our hookup fees here. This one is our water. Let's see here. If I can.
Jesse, I meant to ask you this in the beginning. I'm sorry. How many sewer hookups, how many ERs are we including in the budget right now? I know I have these notes like last year. You guys increased it by 5. So how does that translate into totals?
So it's just a guess, honestly. And I don't. looking through my packet. Hold on. I have the water hookup fee thing, but I don't see my sewer hookup page.
And I'm not speaking, so much of hookups. I'm speaking of, total. I know when Scott was here, you did the ERs so that we had an exact number of what we're billing for. And you don't need to give it to me right now, but the next time we do this and we're fine tuning it, I'd like to have that information.
Okay, let me make a note. So, what exactly is your question? Just so that
How many ERs are we billing for monthly?
Okay, I do still have that workup. So, okay, how many ERs billing monthly? Okay, so.
I'll keep it if you don't mind.
I don't remember.
So we're on hookups, and I think you wanted to know.
Okay, so here's for our hookup costs, so new connection basically. So we have it's a breakout between our inspection fees, which are $80 a piece, and then our connection fees, which are $1,200 a piece. So we brought in $5,200 between both of these this year. So that could go up, it could go down. We can change it in our budget. We can leave it where it is. That's up to the board. But all I do is just provide the reports and say where we're at, and then you guys can decide from there. But this year we had approximately 4 new connections. So
We had 4, did you say, Jesse?
Yep.
Yeah, and I see in the budget last year we used 5. Cooch, I don't know. You kind of probably have a handle from going around. I know I see quite a bit of building, like right here where we are. There's 2 new ones going in on Cape Horn. Well, one's on Cottonwood, one's right on Cape Horn. The lots down below us, I can't remember the name of that street. There's 2 new homes. I think they're going to start in the spring.
Right. Yeah, I'm anticipating we'll have more next year because people from California are trying to get out, and I'm seeing more information where they're contacting us. So, well, do we need to break into the road for Lakes Highway District? What are the water possibilities, sewer possibilities? So, even if Jesse has not gotten any filled out, the paperwork hasn't been filled out yet, I'm getting the requests in anticipation.
And we're talking about sewer right now, so that includes yeah, that's okay. Well, that includes the Cape. I mean, on water we don't have to.
Right.
So
I'm continuing to see more. I think it'll increase.
Yeah. Well, and someone told me, I think it was actually Cheryl who's on right now, but she said that Doug Landwehr is no longer really heading up that subdivision that he had talked about.
Yeah, it's for sale again. So I think we can just kind of assume that went away, at least for the immediate future.
Yeah.
And I don't think even if they proceeded, it wouldn't have come in this year. So we can kind of take that out. But
yeah, exactly. But it's like, things like that where it's like, we could budget for 5,200, or we could have 26 new connections overnight. Who knows? Yeah. But Bob, with the, I know that Lakes Highway, we've talked about this a lot. I know that Robin talked about it a lot. That they're going to be repaving Bayview. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that that's still on their agenda or whatever. But then, how long is the no cut for?
5 years.
5 years. I mean, we'll have to keep that in mind when we do our budget. Years down the line when they actually do that. But yeah, it's all just kind of a guessing game.
Okay.
And I'm letting our customers know that inquire in Bayview that very same thing, that if it's a possibility of having to get into their easement or encroach on their asphalt, that they need to do something sooner than later.
Yeah. So okay.
let's see, Jesse, we budgeted for 5, we took in 4 last year. How about if we bump it up to 8?
Okay, so
Okay.
8 connections.
Yeah,
I think that's
too many.
too many for sewer.
yeah, okay.
Water, I would have no problem doing that with water, but with sewer,
I'm still thinking the 5.
Okay, that's fine with me.
okay.
We would rather understate it than,
Yeah, it's better to undercut it than to be, the other way.
than to be short. I agree. That's good.
If they have water, they gotta have sewer though.
Not always, because there's the people in Cape Horn area who we don't serve sewer to. So
Right.
that's why
Right.
later in this report,
Correct.
we-
I wasn't thinking about that.
yeah,
Right, then the
like
place
this is our
across,
water connection side. We just get a lot more. So
Got it.
that lot that just sold across from Alley, there's no sewer on that one, but they can get water.
Right.
yeah, and we're seeing a lot of that lately too. So
And that
The one around the corner is just done.
5.
Yeah, well, the 4 I know of that are going up, we all have sewer, but that's fine. Let's go for 5, and that's great.
That 5,200 is for 4 connections, not 5.
yeah, good call. Okay. So then for our sewer O&M here, I just kept it the same because so when
So hang on though, that 4 connection was last year's, so we need a budget for 5.
Well, then you need to go up.
Right.
okay, so we want a budget for 5.
Yep.
Yeah,
That is
it should be 6,000.
dealing with a super slow computer.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. So 1,200.
It should be 6,000.
12 times 5 is 6,400. So
Plus the 80.
yes, that's with the 80. So
480 is what it would
yeah,
be.
so it's 1,200 for a connection plus 80 for a sewer inspection. So 1,280 times 5,
Okay,
6,400.
got it. You put the inspection in there. Okay, got it. Good.
So then back to okay.
Okay.
So now we have those 2. Then for our sewer O&M, which is, was it up?
It was 170.
Here we go. So this is
4,000 on the last budget, Jesse, and I see actually we are running, year to date exactly in line with that 174,000 projection. I think we should leave it at 100.
I probably need to add some things to this. I wish I had exact figures, but what I see happening is sewer in Bayview is fine. What we're looking at is the land application site, which is sewer. And as a reminder, we have 7 irrigation zones. All the valves are working fine for that. But we also have 5 sand filter beds. And since I've been here, we've had 1 and then we had 2 that are working. The valves are working. We have 3 where we need 3 new valves. The last quote I got from RC Worst on this in 2018 was right around $4,000 for the valves. Actually, and Bob Hansen and I were just talking about this morning. The budget about $4,500 a piece for getting new valves to get those other sand filter beds activated. So we need 3 of them. So that's something to keep in mind there.
When we get to, I had on sewer maintenance. Okay.
Okay.
Can we just finish the income side though?
Okay. When we get to the expense, then let's just bring this up. Then that's fine.
Yeah.
okay, so we're going to keep this one just as it is then.
Well, wait. I need to bring something up to you guys, and I really don't know what we should do. Is we are trying to get this inspection and update all of our counts, both water and sewer, on the commercial side really soon. we have the figures from the old board that said it's close to $1,700 a month. I have no idea how they broke that down between water and sewer. I kind of think most of it was sewer, but I don't really know. So in my mind, at some point next year, we should be seeing some additional income from both the commercial and then, all of those multifamily that we know are being billed incorrectly.
True.
So how do you guys want to address that? Should we say just say 6 months income? Because we're going to have to, from what Field says, we're going to have a public meeting once we find out what we're really talking about.